Applied for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. Restrictions apply. Wegovy and Ozempic are not compounded.
Everyone's talking about the breakthrough of weight loss drugs, but too few can access or afford them. Hers is changing that. At forhers.com/radio, you can access doctor-trusted weight loss treatments tailored to you, like GLP-1 weekly injections with the same active ingredients as Ozempic and Wegovy, or oral medications at a fraction of the price. That's right. You'll save up to 89% per month on compounded semaglutide based on pricing through Hers. The same active ingredient as the name brand drug at 89% less. There's no hidden fees and no membership fees. Just one low, transparent price. And the process is 100% online. If prescribed, your personalized plan ships free directly to your door. Get started at forhers.com/radio to access affordable doctor-trusted weight loss plans that put you first. That's forhers.com/radio. FORHERS.com/radio.
The 2024 Taos S, $169 a month. Or buy with 2.9% 60-month financing at Ken Ganley Volkswagen North Olmsted. I want to see you in a Ken Ganley VW.
$29.04 per 1,000 finance, 0 down, 36-month lease, $39.99 down, 7,500 miles per year, plus tax, title registration, and dot fee with no security deposit on approved credit. Sale price $25,274.96, VIN 3VV5X7B29RM105768.
Pizza lovers, listen up. We're not that cheesy, but this deal is. For a limited time at Speedway, get 2 big pizza slices and your favorite Coca-Cola 20-ounce for only $5 with Speedy Rewards. And you know we got even more, like flavors galore. Okay, maybe we are a little cheesy. Choose between classic 3-cheese, crispy pepperoni, or extreme meat pizza. Save big on 2 pizza slices and your favorite Coca-Cola 20-ounce. Get the $5 meal deal with Speedy Rewards. Only at Speedway. Valid through 1/7/25. See app for full terms.
How do you feel when you switch to Geico and save on your car insurance? It's like unloading the grocery bags from your car and you decide you can get all the bags in one trip.
I can do it.
So you load up all 14 grocery bags on both arms. Sure, you can't feel your fingers and forgot to take your house keys out.
Almost there.
But you never put down one bag, and you made it inside all in one trip, like the bag-carrying boss you are.
Yes.
Yep, switching and saving with Geico feels just like that. Get more with Geico.
Wounded Warrior Project has been there for me since that first day in the hospital. They got me out of the house. They got me connected with other veterans, and they helped me face my PTSD. They support me and my family at every turn. And now I'm helping other warriors realize that they're not alone.
Through our hands-on programs, supportive community, and ongoing advocacy, we help post-9/11 veterans realize what's possible. Learn more at woundedwarriorproject.org/possible.
'Tis the season to raise a little Cane with Raising Cane's. Spread joy with craveable chicken finger meals and treat everyone on your nice list to a Cane's gift card or plush puppy, which benefits local pet organizations. Happy holidays from Raising Cane's. One love.
Cleveland Clothing Company, the land's one-stop shop for all things Cleveland. Shop Cleveland tees, hoodies, accessories, and the official WMMS buzzer gear at all their locations around town and online. Use the promo code Ralphie for 20% off all through December. Shop online at clevelandclothing.com, the brand of the land.
Using a Clorox disinfecting wipe to clean that stuck-on sauce from the stove feels like...
Oh, boy. That tickles. Stop.
It feels like coming home to your needy corgi after a long day.
Best part of the day, finally.
With Clorox, clean feels carefree. Clean feels good. Use as directed.
The PayPal app has amazingly low prices for holiday shopping. Get cashback offers in the app, and when you use the PayPal debit card, PayPal stacks 5% more in the monthly category of your choosing on up to $1,000 in purchases. Don't just pay, PayPal.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
It's football season, and Uber Eats is dropping undefeated deals on all your game day favorites. This week, score a free medium 2-topping Domino's pizza with minimum purchase, only on Uber Eats. Craving even more? We've got you covered with game day deals on burgers, tacos, wings, and more, all season long. Order Uber Eats now. Terms, taxes, and fees apply. See app for details.
Traffic.
From the Elk and Elk Traffic Center, Elk and Elk has won over $1 billion for their injured clients. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. An accident in Lorraine, Route 58 just south of Russia Road. You have a fire east 123rd Street south of Kinsman. Route 608 is closed due to a crash between Mayfield and Chardon-Windsor Road in Geauga County. And speeds reduced to 40 miles an hour. That's on I-90 between 44 and 528 due to winter weather. I'm Mike Ross in the Traffic Center.
This report is sponsored by Levin Furniture and Mattress.
Before Levin closes the book on 2024, there's a few thousand items we like to clear out. Save 70% off closeouts, floor samples, and clearance. Plus, save an extra 20% off store-wide and repay your sales tax. The end-of-year clearance at Levin.
Keep the holiday soundtrack on everywhere. Open the free iHeartRadio app to take Magic 105.7 with you on the go.
I want to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Tap the holiday banner or just search holiday. Plus, you'll see stations playing Christmas country, jazz, pop, rock, R&B, and more. Tons of playlists and even holiday podcasts. Let us handle the music. You've got enough to do. Open the iHeart app now. Free never sounded so good.
'Tis the season. When you're in the mood for holiday music,
Have a holly jolly Christmas.
listen live with the iHeartRadio app and on your radio. Cleveland's Christmas music station is Magic 105.7.
If you ever get the feeling that he doesn't love you,
don't you love me too?
Feel again. Alan Cox on 100.7 WMMS.
Are we running back-to-back Christmas music promos?
Yeah, for some reason they're scheduled like that.
The same one twice?
I moved a couple yesterday. No, there's like a local version and then one that says like listen on iHeartRadio.
That's what it is. Okay.
So I'm moving them. I've just forgot to move that one. So dumb.
Well, listen, they want to, they love their Christmas music. They got to, they've got to get it where they can. And so I thought I was stroking out there, though, for a second when I heard them back to back. We're going to talk to comedian actor David Alan Greer here in a moment. He is on a brand new show called St. Denis Medical over there on NBC, which I happen to be a fan of. I think it's very funny.
Melissa and I watched the first 2 episodes last night. Love it.
Wendy McClennan-Covey is on it. She was Beverly Goldberg, of course, back in the day, and Reno 911. Yeah, it's
a very good show.
It's cast very well. Allison Tolman's on it. I think I've only seen her in dramas. So I like when dramatic actors do comedy and they're adept at it.
And it's got a lot of heart, too. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just, like, the thing about The Office was it did have that all-around vibe to it, right? It was a show that anybody could agree on. This is that same kind of thing. I think it's going to do really well.
I hope so. I enjoy it. And I like seeing him pop up and stuff, so we'll talk to him briefly. Your Cavaliers are back on the wood tomorrow night. They are going to be playing here at home. Those NBA Cup games taking place in Vegas. Are those all done? They finished tonight? I don't know how those lay out. I know the Cavs weren't part of it.
I think tonight's the last one, yeah.
So the Wizards are back in town. They're not a great ball club, so last time the Cavs played them, they really bent them over. So we'll see what happens tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. Wizards in town to play your Cavaliers, and then the Cavs go to Brooklyn to play the Nets on Monday night. That'll be a 7:30 tip. Both of those, of course, you'll hear here on MMS, and you can listen on the iHeartRadio app. And use the promo code Ralphie for 20% off if you're going to get some holiday gifts at CLE Clothing Company. Boy, I can't imagine a better one-stop shop for anybody that you've got to get stuff for, whether it's like the MMS Buzzard merch or something with the word Cleveland on it or something with the land on it. You'll find it there. And just use Ralphie. If you're in one of the stores, maybe you're a more tactile shopper. If you're doing it online, obviously, you know how to type it in. But just use that. And all month long, you'll get 20% off or whatever you want over there. Alan, how many pizza pockets are okay to fit in my butt? That's what somebody wants to know.
At once?
How many are okay? Or how? This seems like, I I don't know if any are okay. It sounds like you're asking a question based on, we're talking yesterday about how I appreciate people who, we're talking about that girl who's going to bang 1,000 guys in 24 hours, and I have a grudging respect for people who want to see what the limits of the human body are. And this person is, I guess, taking a page out of that book, albeit less sexy. But pizza pockets are what, like Hot Pockets? Is that what they're talking about? They're not talking about pizza rolls.
Yeah, what are those
like
small ones?
Totino's pizza rolls.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking he meant. Maybe he does mean like a Hot Pocket. A Hot Pocket, that's a big item.
I had my first Hot Pocket. Well, I had my first bite of a Hot Pocket a couple of years ago. And it wasn't bad. Once every couple of years, I'll get a hankering. People talk about their favorite garbage food or whatever. And I always think of pizza rolls, Totino's pizza rolls. Those are pretty good.
Get your week's worth of sodium in
Well, I was going to say,
yeah,
you make about 100 of them, and then you eat them in 5 minutes. And, there's nothing wrong with that. So anyway, in answer to your question there, whoever texted me that, I am not quite sure. I don't have an answer for you. I'd say dealer's choice. That's probably not your first rodeo. Maybe I'm overthinking it. I don't know. David, is this you? Hello?
Yes.
How are you, sir?
Is this you?
It is me. It's
I'm
Alan.
good, man.
Hey,
I'm good.
look at this. David Alan Greer. I don't have to explain to people who he is other than the pride of Detroit, Michigan. And we were just discussing the new show. Rob, my co-host, and I are both watching St. Denis Medical. And it's very entertaining. I'm always happy when I see you pop up in something. I remember I was watching The Patient, the Steve Carell thing over on Hulu last year, and you showed up as a hallucination, I think, in that show.
Yeah.
And
that was the inaccurate description.
Right? He was imagining you there in those scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the
I got the script for The Patient, and it's always the same. My agent, my manager go, we really like this script. You should take a look at it. And I said, okay, well, I'll be the judge. I read about 5 pages, and I knew I really wanted to do it. And I had to sit at home and wait for an hour and a half and not call or email anyone because they would have thought I hadn't even read the whole thing. That's a great day when that stuff happens. St. Denis was the same thing. I went to my manager and agent, and I said, I want to stay close to home. I don't want to travel. I have a young daughter. I want a smart script, a comedy, close to home, great character. Like a week later, they sent me the script. Same deal, man. I read it, and I knew immediately, man, this is everything I asked for. It's rare when that happens. It is very rare.
Is there also an element of it, when you talk about devouring a script so quickly and then not calling them back so that they don't think, is there an element at all in your brain of, I also want to give them a little bit of time so that I don't seem too thirsty?
Exactly. It is a courtship.
Yeah.
It is a courtship. I was dating a girl once, and I knew that she was going to say, I love you. And it went like, she said, I really have something. I have these feelings. And I'm like, yes, go on. She said, and here's what I did. I said, I love you too. So in fact, we said it together. And then I sat there like, I blew it. I could have kept my mouth shut and let her say it first. Don't do it.
Yes.
That's like two people trying to open the door for each other at the same time.
Right. And she and by the way, very presumptuous on your part. She could have been getting ready to say, I really love Elvis, or I really love musicals.
I know. I'm just telling you, it was very awkward. So,
now, a lot of people...
Sometimes just hold your powder. Just be quiet for a minute. Let the other person finish. Yeah.
Yeah. Hold your powder. I like that. A lot of people, if they go back far enough, they associate David Alan Greer with In Living Color and a lot of comedy and things. But You are a Yale Drama School graduate, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Right. Your bona fides are deep and wide.
Yes, at the unemployment office, it's always a joy when I tell them I went to Yale, sir.
Right.
How dare you?
Mm-hmm. And they go, the locksmith company? And you say, no, the drama school, please.
There you go. Well, when I first got into Yale, my mother, she was in her little bridge club, and she said, it was so sad today, David. I said, what happened, Mom? What? I told all my friends, all my bridge club members, that my son, my youngest son, David, is going to Yale. I was like, oh, that's sweet. And Betty, my friend Betty said, oh, is he in the law school? And I said, no. And then Louise said, oh, he must be in the med school. And I said, no. And they asked me, well, what is he? He must be in the business school. I just bowed my head, son, and I told them you were an actor. I was like, thanks, Mom.
Yeah, but
thanks for the support.
But not only that, but it's not like nobody's ever heard of the Yale Drama School. So I'm surprised they didn't get to that, because once you get those are basically the three legs of the Yale stool: is law, med, drama.
Well, that's all they were worried about, because everything else was hopes and dreams. I mean, when I was at Yale, it was a 3-year program. I remember my mom would call and she'd call, can you take any other courses, like a business or something? I was like, no, Mom, this is what I'm doing. We're headed for the wall, so get on board and let's go. She finally became very supportive. She was just being a mom.
Well, sure, of course.
It was too iffy in actors' life.
So is it safe to assume then that there were no performers in your family? You were like the first. She was freaked out because there was nothing like this in your family.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, when I first started acting in school, I was like, my mom was deep, man. I said, Mom, when you discover a talent, I knew I had some talent, and as a young person, when you discover and start developing these talents, it was such a revelation to me. Like, where did this come from? I didn't know I could really sing or act. And I asked my mom, I was like, did anyone in my family, were they an actor? And she thought long and hard. She said, you had a third cousin, I believe, on my side named Alice. And I was like, wow, I'd never heard of this cousin. What did she do? And my mom said, well, she was committed for several years to a mental institution, and she was not kidding.
Yeah, you're like, well, let's hope this turns out better, Mom.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mom. Yeah, she was tough love.
St. Dennis Medical, this is Justin Spitzer. Yeah, he was coming off Superstore, which I thought, I loved Superstore, but it was on for like 6 or 7 seasons, and I never met anybody who watched it, but I just thought it was great, and I get that same vibe from this show.
You know what? I never watched Superstore either, but I'm good friends with Anna Gasteyer, who did American Auto with Justin. And this is the first time this happened. I mean, when NBC, those guys sent me the script, Anna texted me, we talked, she sent an email, Justin sent me an email. I got an email from one of the executives at NBC, all urging, hoping that I do this show. Now, usually that is followed by a fair to Midland script. The big build-up, I want to introduce you to this beautiful woman, and you meet her, and it's like, okay, something is going on. So I was kind of expecting that because the build-up was it was full court press, but it was easy, man. It was an easy decision. It was great. I mean, the script is there. You see it, and you've seen it in the pilot. So they weren't lying, which is, again, always a joy.
Yeah. Well, and it's nice to be, a boy likes to be wanted, right?
Yeah, it took me 40 years because usually it goes like, hey, David, you can say yes or no, but we do have a plan B. All right? So we need to know quick. Yeah. There's always a backup.
Yeah. St. Dennis Medical is the new show. A new episode's on Tuesday nights on NBC, but it streams on Hulu, and it's very funny. Wendy McLennan-Covey and Allison Tolman are in it, and it's Justin Spitzer, who is a very funny dude. I think he wrote in The Office and then started making his own shows, and they kind of have this great vibe. David Alan Greer is Ron on the show. He's kind of like you're the elder statesman on the show as a doctor.
Yes. I think Ron 30 years ago was young, impassioned, big, huge afro. We're going to change the whole system
right.
from top to bottom.
Yeah, and he was a Mac.
And the system won.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, the system won.
Who's still there?
Listen, I'll let you get on with your day, David. I'm always happy to see you in things, so I appreciate your time, and I hope the show goes for as many seasons as you want it to go.
Oh, that would be beautiful, man. That'd be beautiful. So I can get that space shuttle, and I'll be just flying around. It'll be beautiful, man.
Wave to me from space, will you?
I will.
All right, thank you, man. There's David Alan Greer. He is on the show called St. Denis Medical. And you go all the way back to In Living Color with him. And what were we talking about? Blank Man?
Yeah.
Blank Man?
I love that movie
with
so
Damon
much.
Wayans, yeah.
My brother, I texted him and I was like, dude, David Alan Greer is going to be on the show. He's like, no way, the other guy? And I'm like, oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I love them.
He was Gerard in Boomerang. Eddie Murphy, high point for Eddie Murphy is Gerard in Boomerang. He was in...
Oh, that's right. He's sitting at the table during the famous when he licks his fingers scene.
Yeah, with
you
John
can't
Witherspoon.
Beat Pete whipped. Gotta whip that Pete. Reverse it.
Yeah. You got to coordinate. Mushroom belt, mushroom jacket. I love Boomerang.
David Alan Greer, man. He is, just sitting there listening to that, he is everything I hoped he would be.
He's fantastic.
Wasn't he nice? God almighty. I love it when they're great.
Yeah. His latest film, by the way, because he does TV and film, his latest film is called The American Society of Magical Negroes. And that's probably self-explanatory, but that's, I don't know if it's out yet, but that is his, and he was in Martin back in the day. Everybody knows who David Alan Greer. I don't have to explain that, but we've got a little bit of sperm news here. Sperm news. A guy in New Mexico is getting $412 million in a medical malpractice lawsuit for a place that botched his penile injections. I'll let you sit with that one for a second. Now, once you uncross your legs, I'll explain the rest to you. A place called Numale, Numale, in Albuquerque. We've got bureau chiefs in Albuquerque there in the great state of New Mexico. The jury has awarded the guy. Now, obviously, these things are immediately appealed and blah, 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 so he may never see a dime. But this jury, upon hearing all of the evidence in this case, thought this guy needs $412 million. They say that that this guy, it involved fraud and it involved all kinds of, there's so much of this kind of stuff in strip mall cosmetic surgery. You hear about these women that go get the Brazilian butt lift and they're putting caulk in there or they're putting carpet remnants or, whatever. They go to Belize to get it done because it's, $47.50 or whatever. They said that it's the largest amount ever awarded by a jury in a medical malpractice case in the United States. It just so happens to involve penile injections. The man was 66 years old. Now, imagine being 66 and coming to the conclusion, my dong needs some work. It's not like this was a young dude, right? He was almost 70 years old. And he went to the clinic a few years ago. And he went in he didn't go in for his penile injections. He went in because he said he was tired and he wanted to lose some weight. And the lawsuit came from the fact that they said, well, you know what we can do? You know what'll really help all this is if we give you probably have erectile dysfunction, right? You hear a lot of these advertisements. We run them on WMMS. A lot of these places, they're like, hey, you low T, things like that, right? You get older, it can really affect your lifestyle and blah, blah, blah. This place said, well, I know how we can fix that. We're just going to give you these shots into your penis, and that will fix everything. And it did not. He had irreversible damage. Now, again, this to me is glass half full. Listen, as long as you're a guy and you're alive, you want to have, I guess, a fulfilling sex life. I don't know what this guy's was. And this, of course, causing irreversible damage. That's no good. But it's not like he was 27. It's not like he had his whole sex life ahead of him. So the jury heard all this and said, oh, this place in New Mexico is just conning old dudes that come in there. And this guy was the main plaintiff there. They said that this particular place had set up this scheme to make a lot of money off of old guys coming in there because they would tell them, hey, you got to get these injections like 3-4 times a week. And I'm sure they weren't cheap. And so this guy goes in. Now, unfortunately, boy, I tried to find pictures. Just could not find any pictures. But this place has clinics in half a dozen states. They're in Illinois, they're in Florida, they're in Colorado. This guy there in New Mexico, 66 years old. Now, you have $412 million, but your dong doesn't work at all. So, glass half full, I guess?
Dude, glass full.
Fully full,
Fully
right?
full.
Fully full.
Dude, I'm 45. If you told me right now I could get $412 million for a broken wiener, I'd take it. I'm in.
A broken wiener.
I'm in.
Yeah.
Just do what you got to do. I'll take the injections.
Okay.
Dude, that's the $412 million.
No, I get it. I want, it's very important to me that my stuff work for as long as possible. And I'm just waiting down the road for that cliff because you know it's coming. But you're right, $412 million.
Yeah, man.
I guess there's other things you can do, right?
Yeah, of course.
In lieu of...
count my money. That's what I can do.
I'll count my money.
Yeah.
I just can't. Once I get past my 10 fingers and toes, I can't count to 21.
Did they say what actually happened to his penis? Did it, like, explode? Did he...
Nothing like that. They said that it just was rendered completely useless.
It may have been that way when he walked in, so who cares?
Right.
Great. Congratulations.
Hey, I'm tired and I want to lose some weight. We can shoot up your wiener 4 times a week. And this guy went, all right.
Score.
Hey, this sounds good. What's it going to cost me? Well, that's where it gets a little hairy.
So basically $412 million just because the procedures didn't work.
Right. And imagine, because this guy is 66 years old, let's say he lives another 20 years, right? The bulk of this money is, I mean, he may have set up his family with generational wealth because of his wiener.
Dude, when he dies, I'd frame it. I'd put it, like, bronze it and just put it up on the mantle. This is our legacy.
This is our benefactor.
Yeah, here it is.
Grandpa had a busted wiener after going to this
flaccid penis.
Yeah,
on the mantle for eternity.
Yeah, stuffed,
in his mansion.
bronzed, whatever you want.
Boner.
What, Grandma?
Boner.
What?
Boner.
I love you. Yeah, $412 million. That's not bad at all.
Not at all.
Yeah. So congratulations to him and his broken genitalia. And I hope that he gets every cent of that money. You know, these companies will immediately appeal. So it might, this guy, who knows what'll happen in the meantime. But a massive, massive case there. And that's your sperm news.
Sperm news.
I'm going to take a break. If you want to go see your Cleveland Monsters, want to get some hockey under your belt, I will have 4 tickets for you. The Monsters are taking on the Grand Rapids Griffins at the Romo Fijo. It's the 28th of this month, a Saturday night, a couple of weeks away. It's also Monster Scarf Giveaway night. So we'll do that after the break. 35192. Text me for anything else. If you want to watch the show, find the Alan Cox Show YouTube channel.
It's the Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS. And everywhere you go on our free iHeartRadio app. This weekend, the Buzzard takes you back.
We're sending you back
to a decade fueled by
powdered cocaine used for sniffing
and by
Aquanet. You can't buy a better holding hairspray.
Welcome back.
You'll be back
to the 80s.
It's terrific.
Might as well jump. We'll even pull out the old make-out mixtapes. Back up the Buzzard. All 80s, all weekend. On 100.7 WMMS.
Sarah Spain for iHeart Women's Sports.
Presented by Elf Beauty.
In college hoops, Tennessee is back in the top 25 rankings after a win over Iowa last weekend, sliding into the 19th spot. The Lady Vols fell out of the national rankings back in November of 2023, and their 22-week absence from the poll was the program's longest drought in the 48-year history of the women's basketball rankings. For more women's sports stories, be sure to subscribe to Good Game with Sarah Spain on iHeart Podcasts.
Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate with Holy Hydration Face Cream fragrance-free from e.l.f. Skin. The non-greasy formula replenishes lost hydration that your skin needs during and after hard workouts. Shop elfskin.com for a firmed-up, bouncy complexion and clean, smooth skin all day long.
On the app or in store, Cleveland runs on Dunkin'.
This is it, your last chance for holiday gifts from Untold.
You seen the guy and his wife on TikTok? He's playing the guitar and she's just doing the hi-hat. They're like, oh, Deck the Halls and War Pigs matches up pretty well.
Join the ancient Yuletide carol. Oh, Lord, yeah.
It could be worse. That's a new one from Tepid Penis. That's one of the bands I'll be playing Saturday night. Somebody suggested to me. We do a metal show here. It's called 2 Hours to Midnight. Saturday night's 10 o'clock. This Saturday night will be our last in a few weeks. We'll be going on the winter hiatus. I'll have new music from Nuclear Demolition, a great band from Mexico that I'm trying to turn people on to. Local music from the Static Wake. We've played those guys before. They dropped a brand new song that I'll play for you. We go back a ways. There's some old school stuff, some 80s thrash, German metal. From 1987, a band that was kind of one and done called Violent Force. I'm going to play them for you. It's me, it's Corey Roddick, it's Pat Butler, who is having a birthday today, as a matter of fact. Our buddy Pat Butler. And we throw in. We take your requests. We play local metal, play new stuff, play throwbacks, and roll it out for you on Saturday night, 10 o'clock. It's called 2 Hours to Midnight. And it's a lot of fun. So if you dig metal, join us here for that. The Cavs are back here at home tomorrow night after being off for the week. They're going to play the Washington Wizards. That's tomorrow night, 7 o'clock is your tip-off, 6:30 pregame when we get out of here for the year. Tomorrow will be our last live show of 2024. And then Monday, the Cavs will go to Brooklyn to play the Nets. These are the two games that have been added to their schedule after that NBA Cup stuff. So Monday, 7:30 against the Brooklyn Nets. And the Cavs are still the best team in the NBA. Some rumblings about the possibility of LeBron James retiring as a Cleveland Cavalier, which obviously puts a lot of people in a good mood. But I heard Stansbury talking about it, and he said there's part of whatever agreement, the speculation on whatever agreement there would be, would include a caveat that Bronny was part of the whole thing too. And listen, I mean, I got nothing against Nepo babies. You know, you don't control who you're born to, but it's kind of weird.
Speaking of nepotism, that was part of the holdup with Bill Belichick's contract that we were talking about. He does want to have his son named as successor for North Carolina when he's done.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been released.
Yeah. Yep. Alan, I'm shocked you didn't get the Pizza Pocket reference. That was supposed to be an inside joke. You dated my sister in high school. Well, I dated about 2 girls in high school, so you might have the wrong guy, and I'm not from here, so.
Did either of them ever try to put Hot Pockets in their bottom?
Not in theirs.
No? Well, there you
Maybe that's why they thought I'd get the joke. I'm curious who your sister is, and if, yeah, no, I probably did not date your sister. But thank you. One of the reporters yelling out, you know, when they were pulling that Luigi Mangione transported by the cops earlier in the week, somebody yelled out, hey, it's me, Mario. But they didn't do the voice. That's the lowest hanging fruit there is, and you're supposed to do the voice, right?
Yep.
It's a me, Mario. That's what you're supposed to do.
100%.
They just yell it out. Come on, man.
What's happening, Luigi? What's going on, Luigi? Luigi, it's me, Mario. Me, Mario. Luigi, it's me.
Yeah. Oh, the other reporters. Hey, good one.
So he tried. He was just afraid to. He said Mario.
Mario.
But he was afraid to like do the high pitch thing.
But that would have been funny.
Of course.
In the midst of the clicking of the cameras and the other normal voices, one guy goes, it's a me, you know. It would have been dumb, but better than that. Now, let's get right to this, because I have bitten my tongue this entire time, okay? With respect, I have bitten my tongue, but now it seems to be coming to light. When I first saw the pictures of this guy, when they identified who he was, and they started digging into his social media, and I said, oh, this guy's gay. But I didn't hear anybody talking about it, so I didn't mention it because it would have just been speculation on my part. There was one picture of him with a girl, which, again, is not indicative of anything, but there were more pictures of him clearly throwing, like, dude thirst traps. And pictures of him, like, in the backseat of a cab, really excited that he got a Lion King Happy Meal. Okay? So my thought was, oh, he's gay. And nobody was saying anything about it. And now all the stories are Luigi Mangione's secret gay life. I'm like, yes, this guy is clearly gay. Now, this is one more thing. By the way, if this is true, this is one more thing that the defense team can throw onto the pile, because you know they're going to throw everything against the wall with this guy in order to defend him. They're going to say, he felt like he couldn't be himself. He had the back surgery that made him crazy and made him... Now, again, none of this has anything to do with mitigating the circumstances of killing a person in the middle of the, in the street. But that's what the defense is going to have to do. Essentially, the Twinkie defense. Well, it's low blood sugar, Now, the Twinkie defense didn't work back in the day when they tried it. If my client had just gotten some sugar, he wouldn't have murdered that person.
They could probably call this the exact same thing.
Rob Anthony, everybody.
Thank you.
WMMS Rob on your social media.
Thank you.
So we'll see what happens if this is true. Now, I'm not shocked at all, but this is the story now that's being thrown out there. Hold on, let me give you your proper your.
Play me off. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So, yes, now the stories are coming out because all of these other guys are saying, oh, I used to bang that guy, whatever, okay. But you can absolutely predict where his defense team will go. Well, given the political climate, he felt like he was, as a gay man, he was being discriminated against and blah, blah, blah. Now, it's going to be real hard for a jury to buy any of that stuff because he's a rich kid who got mad and whatever. That's oversimplifying it, of course, but it's definitely an interesting case. Now, I guarantee you, when they're going through the voir dire and they're figuring out the jurors for this case, there ain't going to be one single person under 30 on that jury, right? They're not going to want anybody who might give this kid any kind of latitude. Now, irrespective of how old the jurors are, they're all going to understand the vitriol toward insurance companies. That's part and parcel of the whole thing. But yes, as they dig more into, the life of this guy, they're like, all right, now there's guys coming forward saying that they had really, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. I was just surprised that I was the only one seeing that and going, well, this is how this is going to go. And nobody else was saying anything about it. Because they were like, oh, they first got a picture of him because he was flirting with the girl at the front desk. No, he wasn't. He wasn't flirting with her. She probably told him that he was cute. And he's like, yeah, I know. And took his mask down. I am cute. You don't have to be straight to appreciate when somebody tells you you're cute. And they're merching the hell out of this guy. Apparently, like, GoFundMe shut down. The people were setting up, like, Etsy shops for merch and GoFundMe, and those companies shut them down. So they've gone to other crowdfunding sites. I think the first one that people think of is GoFundMe. They put the kibosh on that. They wanted nothing to do with it. There's another one called Give, Send, Go, which I've never heard of, but I guess GoFundMe's loss is their gain. And there are people raising money for his defense. It's up to about $25,000. But a lot of the merch is being yanked by the websites that host them. Etsy has taken it off. They don't want anything to do with it. And they're making shirts and cups and Christmas ornaments, and I'm sure there's a lot of people already who have bought these things. And if you go online, you'll see there's a lot of merch. Deny, defend, DiGiorno is the T-shirt that I saw.
It ain't delivery.
Right. So, yeah, you can say whatever you want about what people should or should not be talking about or joking about or whatever, but you ain't going to stop it.
I can just imagine how this hardcore Italian family is now reacting to that news coming out. You know what I mean?
You know, Alan, I don't care if my son spends the rest of his life in prison. If the defense comes out and tells everybody his dark secrets, we're ruined.
His dark secrets, right.
We're ruined.
Uh-huh.
It can't come out, Alan. It can't come out. We need to deny. I don't care if the boy rots in jail. We can't have that type of information in our family.
That he likes boys.
That's what you say.
Well, the word you're thinking of, you can't say. I just want to let you know, you can't say that word.
That's in the media. There's no proof of any of that. So somebody calls and they say, guy did this, guy did that. How do you know?
Do you have photos of him with his steady stream of girlfriends?
No.
Oh.
I mean,
he didn't bring them around to meet you guys?
Very popular with the fellas. He always had the guys around.
Uh-huh.
The friends.
Oh, so he had a nice core group of friends, of guy friends.
You're right.
Well, that's nice.
Right.
Yeah. They'd probably compliment each other, how they looked shirtless and things like that.
See, now you're taking it to the extremes again, Alan.
I don't know.
This is very unnecessary.
I'm just trying to get past all the conjecture and get to the facts. That's what I want to do.
Well, the facts are, the defense is not going to talk about his sexuality. He'll rot in jail before he admits that.
Oh, boy.
I'm just telling you.
You know, if your son is jail might not be the best place for him.
Jesus Christ. Alan,
how
many times do I have to tell you?
He's not.
You cannot combine that with my boy. Look what they've done to my boy.
It's scandalous.
It's a smear campaign.
Well, there's a lot of deny, defend, depose merch. Buttons and pins. Interesting that that's what they're zeroing in on, by the way. You think that it would be more Luigi-centric merch. But there's a lot of items online. And again, a lot of these platforms are shutting them down. Etsy and eBay, I think they shut these down.
I did see the one where they had his face kind of in that Luigi, the hat, Mario behind him, that kind of thing. It just basically photoshopped his face onto Luigi. That was pretty good. The mustache.
Some people have given him the name The Adjuster because he's being lionized by a lot of people as a folk hero, and so they've referred to him as The Adjuster. I don't personally believe in violence, one guy said, but I have a problem with their entire business making money off of people suffering and dying. Talking about the health insurance industry. This is a guy who made merch. He's like, I'm not down with what the guy did, but I guess he figures why not make some money about it. He said it says something about society that we can relate to the killer more than the billionaire and his family. I always wondered why people were rooting for guys robbing trains back in the day. And then you realize how corrupt banks are, and then you go, oh, I guess I get it.
There's a big difference between robbing a bank and killing a guy.
Killing a guy in the middle. Well, listen, if they got in your way, that's why they always told the conductor, hey, you face that way, nobody gets hurt. You want to jump off this train, and nobody gets hurt. Don't get in our way. Or guys that are robbing big banks. They get in, hey, De Niro didn't want to kill anybody in Heat.
Such a good movie.
All of your money is insured. Don't be a hero. We're not here for your money. We're here for the bank's money. Your money is insured. Michael Mann, by the way, has confirmed that his next movie will be Heat 2.
Really?
Yeah. He wrote a book, or somebody wrote a book. I think he did. Heat 2, kind of the continuation, obviously, of that story down the road. Now, I would love if he casts Pacino and De Niro, but it feels more like it's going to be a prequel. It feels more like, when they do those kinds of movies, they don't want the same guys. They want whoever the young dudes of the moment are to play them younger. So I think that's what it's going to be.
Gotta wonder how they would set that up as a prequel, though. Like they didn't. It would be I don't know how you tie that together.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I would love if they did a sequel to Heat and they kept because that cast was stacked. right? A young Natalie Portman.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love if they cast every single person again in that movie, including Val Kilmer. You know, at the end of Heat, because he took a bullet to the neck, he's kind of paralyzed there, like he can't really speak, right? And that dovetails nicely into Val Kilmer's real-life situation. Like cancer, right? Tongue cancer or something. They did that documentary on him a year ago, which was fascinating. I love Val Kilmer. But they should, I would love if they did a sequel and cast every single person in the exact same role.
As long as they don't do what they did with The Irishman and try to make them look young even though they're
De-age
old.
them?
Yeah, that didn't work. I love the movie, but it didn't work.
Great ass! Well, they kind of did that. That threw me off a little bit, too. There's a Billy Crystal show over on Apple TV called Before, and it's really heavy on atmosphere, but the story so far, you don't know what the hell is going on. He's a child psychologist. It's very gothic and gloomy and whatever, and it's kind of a different turn for Billy Crystal, but he's real good in it. But there's a flashback scene where he is playing younger, and they have very clearly CGI de-aged him, and it just is an uncanny valley vibe to it. They haven't nailed that down yet. But I guess that's better than what they did with De Niro in The Irishman. He looked it was just him with jet black hair.
That was it. And then
he's clearly 70.
But still moving like a 70-year-old guy, too. Like that scene where he's kicking that guy's ass in the street.
Yeah.
He's like, he does his De Niro kick, but he's old. Like he's trying to balance on one foot, almost falling over.
So I would love Heat 2 to recast every single person. I think they're all alive. Ted Levine, Wes Studi, Henry Rollins was in it. I don't know that there's anybody in that cast who's dead. Oh, Tom Sizemore.
Right.
Sizemore's dead.
Well, he was killed in the movie, too, wasn't he?
Killed in the movie. Oh, you're right.
So there
Michael
you go.
Chirito.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was killed in the movie. So recast everybody. You know, Pacino's got like that long gray hair now, and you know, put him in. Hank Azaria, everybody.
Great ass.
Put them all in there. Ashley Judd.
Shootout scene would look much different now.
Yeah. John Voight. He was in it.
Is he still living?
John Voight's alive.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yup. Big MAGA dude. He's probably going to live to like 110. But he's still in movies and still works. And
oh, wow.
Yeah.
I haven't thought of that guy in ages.
He was on a show I loved called Ray Donovan that was on for a
Yes.
number of years with Liev Schreiber. He was the dad on that show. But yeah, John Voight's still out there. Hanging with all the other MAGA dudes like Mel Gibson, Dennis Quaid, and Zachary Levi, all those guys.
James Woods,
yeah. Speaking of De Niro, they're making Meet the Parents 4. Somebody said, yeah, I think I saw that too, like Fockers Again or something like that. I don't know what it's called, but listen, anything you can do to get that Terry Polo back in action, I'm all for it. Tone Loc, he was in Heat. Remember Tone Loc?
Was he?
Yeah, he's like the informant's brother that tells him about Tom Sizemore in the club.
Yep.
Yeah, Tone Loc.
Wow.
Put him in there. Yeah, man. Funky Cole Medina. I got Breaking Benjamin and Stained tickets for you. The tour is called Awaken the Fallen. They're bringing Wage War and Lakeview with them. It's a good lineup. They're going to hit Blossom in May, Monday the 19th, for an MMS show, and I will have those tickets for you after the break.
This is the Alan Cox Show. Everywhere on our free iHeartRadio.
At prices that slay. Spruce up your space for the holidays with Ashley. Visit your local Ashley or shop online at ashley.com.
'Tis the season. When you're in the mood for holiday music,
Have a holly jolly Christmas.
listen live with the iHeartRadio app and on your radio. Cleveland's Christmas music station is Magic 105.7.
It's time to give stuff away.
All right, breaking. Benjamin and Stained have announced a co-headlining tour called Awaken the Fallen Tour. They're bringing Wage War and Lakeview with them. Lakeview are kind of an alt-country duo. That's kind of how Aaron Lewis was spending his downtime, was doing solo dates with a bit more cowboy hat and acoustic guitar. They're all coming together to play Blossom for you, though. It's going to happen Monday, May 19th. So it's a little ways away, but you'll have a couple of tickets here. LiveNation.com. If you strike out with me, they can hook you up. Caller 10, these are yours. Breaking Benjamin and Stained in May. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
Let's be real. Sleeping with your teacher is hot. Just be careful if you're homeschooled. Mom, stop it!
Now back to the Alan Cox Show on 100.7
WMMS.
I always thought this is a good Stained song. I don't think it was a hit, though. Price to Play, I thought was pretty good. I don't think it ever went anywhere as far as upping their cachet, but off of the 14 Shades of Grey album. You ever see Stained live?
Many a time.
Yeah,
from
I saw them
Springfield,
once.
Massachusetts.
All right.
Yeah, right where I grew up.
They're from your neck of the woods.
That's why I have a hard time with this version of Aaron Lewis. This
The country guy?
Don't tread on me tattooed on his neck guy, because when Stain started, he weighed about 12 pounds.
Right.
And he had a big, giant pink mohawk. When
Right.
I used to go see him in the clubs.
Well, my thing is, a lot of people change, even artists, especially artists. You're going to change the older you get and the more experiences you have, but it's kind of like, it is a tough pivot if you move into, like, F your feelings when your whole artistic career was complaining you didn't get enough hugs.
Correct.
Which is what kind of the Stained catalog was. I like them musically, but I've only seen them one time, and that was a long time ago.
Yeah, they're great. Listen,
Yeah.
Mushak is a great guitarist.
Yes.
The drummer, the original drummer, just recently passed away.
What's his name? Not Johnny April. That's a bass
No,
player.
that's the bassist, yeah.
But I know
can't
who you're
think of
talking
it right
about,
now.
yeah.
John Wysocki.
John Wysocki.
Yeah, he just passed away.
But he hadn't been with the band
Not
in a
for a
while.
long time,
Yeah,
no.
he
They
left kind of
booted him
early.
out.
Yeah. But they were they were very much of that time, kind of in the new metal thing. They didn't have a DJ. They were kind of more like, you're down tuning and your kind of groove metal kind of thing. But no, I like them. They're good. Breaking Benjamin and Stained. I will have one more pair of tickets for you about this same time tomorrow. And then otherwise, we'll probably have more closer to the show, frankly. I'll hook you up for the Ohio RV show here in a bit. The Cavs will play tomorrow night. They are back after a few days hiatus. Washington Wizards in town. Romo Fijo, 7 o'clock is your start. 6:30 after we roll is when your pregame will begin. And then the Cavs will head to Brooklyn to play the Nets on Monday. The Washington Nationals have gotten the number 1 pick in the MLB draft again. This is like the 3rd or 4th year that they have gotten the first pick in the draft. Washington Nationals will have the first pick in the 2025 Major League Baseball draft. Oh, 3rd time in franchise history. I thought they said third time in a row. I'm like, that can't be right. The Colorado Rockies and the Miami Marlins, they thought one of those teams were going to get the first pick, but the Nationals are getting the first pick. LA Angels will pick second. Despite losing a record 121 games, my Chicago White Sox were not eligible for a lottery pick. So just add one more log onto the indignity fire there. The A's were also ineligible because of a revenue sharing thing. You know, some of the rules there in their bargaining agreements that if you pay into the revenue sharing plan, it's all very boring legalese, but the White Sox they chose 5th. And look where that got them. I don't remember who they picked, boy, but it took them to heights.
What is the
solution? Guardians had the number 1 pick last year, right? They had like a 2% chance, and they got the top pick.
What is the solution in Chicago? Like, what when you're that bad?
Nuke it from orbit, just to be sure. Take off and nuke it from orbit.
I mean, it's just it's an ownership thing? Is that the problem there?
I mean, they've been begging them. Chicago fans have been begging every team owner to sell those teams. Jerry Reinsdorf owns the Bulls and the White Sox, and he might be coming around to selling. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I would love to know what the answer is.
When it
ain't Grady Sizemore.
No,
I don't know.
But when it's that bad, there's a lot wrong.
Well, they're looking at this past season as an anomaly, albeit a record-setting anomaly, but they've already said, we're not going to make roster changes for 2025. So, listen, if these guys come back and get themselves on a World Series run for the season, then you can look back and go, yeah, that was, like the Browns' winless season. You can go, well, it was an anomaly. But I have no idea what the solution is there. Here in Cleveland, they're not going to do Guardians Fest every year anymore. They're going to do it every 3 years. So if you liked going to Guard Fest annually, they're not going to do that anymore. A decade ago, of course, it was Tribe Fest. And, you go, you'd meet current guys on the roster, you'd meet former players. It was fun if you're a baseball fan. And I don't know, they had some explanation about, the best experience for fans. Basically, how I read that is there weren't enough people coming year to year. So they're going to do it every few years. So the next Guards Fest is in 2026. But if it is because not enough people were coming, then you might not care.
Right.
But that's how they're doing it. 2026 will be the next Guardians Fest.
Yeah, they said, I just had the quote now, of course, it just went away.
Fan outreach has led them to the conclusion, fan outreach has led them to the conclusion that shifting the event to a tri-annual schedule will allow them to ensure the best experience for fans, blah, blah, blah. I read that as not enough people are showing up. Just once, give me a press release that's just painfully candid. Hey, if you guys were showing up, we could still do this every year. You played yourself, playa.
I wonder, though, with the run they just had, right, in this season, if this was the year to move it. Like, maybe see how this year goes. Because I know there was so much more passion about the team this year because of how well they did.
Yeah.
So, gauge it and be like, oh, okay, this one was better. Maybe it's on the up. And then make a decision.
Not only that, but they also can't say players don't want to do it. You know what I mean? They can't say that because players have to pretend like it's their favorite thing to do.
Right.
Is go and meet the fans, right? These are guys who move, on average, a lot of these guys, they move city to city to city. And they have to pretend like the team they're with has the greatest fans on the planet. There's a handful of guys that spend their whole career with one team. And yes, they're like, they've established themselves in the fabric of that market or whatever, and I'm sure that they have some genuine affection for those fans. But a lot of these guys who kind of bounce around, they do those kinds of events because they're expected to, not because they want to. But obviously the organization can't be like, yeah, we couldn't get any guys to come out and do it, so.
The next one isn't going to happen until after the 26th season, so in 2027 would be the next one.
Okay.
So an extra year.
Yeah, okay. This says the next Guards Fest is scheduled for 2026. So, because they did do it this year or they did not?
They did do it this past year.
They did do it this past year. Okay.
So I think 26 or the 27 season would make.
Oh, I see what you mean. Into
the 27 season.
We're bailing a bit early today, just FYI, because the iHeart Christmas party, air quotes.
Thank you.
Is around the corner there on East 4th. And boy, imagine my excitement when I saw this big rollout of how they're going to turn East 4th here into people walking around with drinks and open containers. They've been talking about this for a while. Cleveland being dragged kicking and screaming into the 21st century, by the way. Hey, we could walk around outside with drinks on a street.
Yeah, half a block.
Cool. Well, they're kind of, post-COVID, they have been forced to kind of reimagine East 4th. It's no one's fault. They're going to turn that valet station into like a little drinking park there, right? Throw it on some AstroTurf. Now, I don't care for the acronym. I'm not 5. I don't need acronyms. They're calling it DORA. For a designated outdoor refreshment area.
Oh, God.
All right, listen.
Outdoor bar.
Outdoor bar.
Period.
Let's go over to the OB.
The Dora. What is that? It sounds like it's for kids.
So they're going to move the valet station, and they're going to turn it into like a little area called the dugout, where you can sit there and, have a couple of pops. Listen, I like all of it. I mean, I like the idea. I think that, they're going to put there's a place that's going to open called Jolene's. Tito's got that slice shop around. I like all of it. It's just, I don't know what's taken them so long to turn East 4th into a thing where people can walk around with a drink in their hand. I don't understand that.
I wonder if it's more...
Better late than never. I just don't understand,
I wonder if the owners of those bars didn't want it. You know what I mean? Like
they want them inside drinking?
Yeah,
or
spend money in each place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So maybe I don't know. Maybe that's it. But it does seem...
Maybe. It's limited real estate.
Way behind the times.
Yeah, that might be true. So that will be happening next summer? Yeah, next summer. They'll do this. Alongside beverages, expect family-friendly fare and a planned ice cream stand. Say, if you want people spending money, you got to let them bring the Rugrats. That's why, they turn like sports venues now into amusement parks. Because they're like, hey, the kids might now want to watch the game. Bring them over here. They can ride the carousel or whatever.
Did they say what they're going to do with the valet? Because that is usually a nightmare whenever you go to an event.
It doesn't say that.
I wonder where they're going to put all those cars then.
Don't know. The current valet station will next year be moved and replaced with a Dora-friendly pocket park alongside a new seasonal bar called the Dugout.
Hola, soy Dora. You can hear the commercials now.
Swipe or no swiping. My drink. Yeah, so, no, listen, any way that they're going to expand the way in which people can be downtown and having a good time, I'm all for it. I'm just kind of like, boy, they've been talking about this for a while, and I don't know what took them so long. Maybe you're right. Maybe it was the business owners who didn't want it. Except those storefronts are changing hands every friggin' 9 months. There's some new restaurant in there. After Jonathan Sawyer skipped town with his tail between his legs. Hey, Rocky.
Hey, Alan.
What's going on? You sound like a Rocky, just from the jump. I already like it.
There you go. I met you at Parma Tavern a month or two ago.
Oh, okay. Was I nice? Was I polite?
You were very nice.
That wasn't me then.
Considering I was very nasty about the Mary Santera and Bill show.
Oh, you were? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Hello, Rob.
Hey, man.
Yeah, you guys are doing a great job. And you know what? You were hilarious yesterday. You guys should do your own cartoons or with the foreign voices.
What was yesterday? What were we doing yesterday?
We were making fun of that porn girl. We were doing the
Oh, God.
Monty Python accents.
Yeah, okay, well.
Well, different accents.
Yes. Well, we're such multi-talented individuals, Rocky, that it's really hard to pin us down, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it was great. And, tell Sonny and Michael to come get some olive oil for Mama.
Mm-hmm.
And but you guys are very entertaining, and keep up the great work. Have a great holiday, both of you. And that's all.
All right, thank you, Rocky. How are you spending your Thursday afternoon before I let you go, Rocky?
I'm doing shipping now for my company, and then I'm going to go deliver Uber Eats tonight.
All right. Well, be careful out there.
Thank you much. Yeah, a lot of crazy drivers out there.
And slippery, yes. Be careful. All right, thank you, Rocky.
You guys as well. Get Ubers tonight. Don't be driving drinking.
Right. Okay, thank you. There's Rocky. He's out there, and he's...
You know what's
Happy
amazing
holidays
about
to
Rocky?
both of you.
Sorry.
What's that?
What's amazing about Rocky, he sounds like a combination of Rocky and Mickey.
Yes.
Get in there, Rock.
Rock!
Right?
I'll tell you the wild thing about Rocky there is I recognize his voice, but I don't remember meeting him. And I feel terrible. I don't know why I recognize his voice, but I do. But I don't recall meeting him. You know, we meet a lot of people at these appearances. And I'm good with faces, but I'm terrible with names. And so I apologize, Rocky. But thank you for...
Hey boys, it's Becky from Wayne County. I was thinking about next year something fun would be an Alan Cox bingo card. So the bingo card would have things like when Alan says devotion to accuracy, or talks about his parents' sex life, or don't hide your light under a bushel basket, or maybe Rob giggles at something that Alan says. Might be fun to do. I hope you enjoy Honda Days if you celebrate.
Was it already Honda Days? Oh, no. I hope you got my gift. Okay, well, bingo card. I hadn't, if you had bingo card on your bingo card, there you go. But
fill it up with the Rob giggles quick.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about the poop.
There you go. Rob's always thinking about the poop. The DORA acronym isn't unique to East 4th. Maslin just started DORA. Okay, that's fine. I'm just saying I don't know why anybody needs that acronym. Right? Designated Outdoor Refreshment Area. Like, nobody's going to call it that. That might be what it's called in the city planning or, you know, the permitting process. It's probably referred to as a DORA. But I don't know that anybody's going to. Maybe they're not meant to. Maybe they're not meant to call it that.
Are they going to put in a DOBA as well? Just in case?
A designated outdoor barfing area?
Bathroom.
Bathroom area.
Yeah.
I just vomited in the DOPA, everybody.
The designated outdoor bathroom area.
Outdoor puking area. The DOPA's over there. The DOBA is over there.
Well, it'll keep them out of our bathroom, which would be great.
I'll be getting a drink at the DORA. It's hard to keep them separated, and you have to buy special cups at certain bars, this person says, in Maslin. All right. Here in Marietta, it's also called the DORA. We've had one for about 6 years now. Yeah, there you go. State law, it's what it's called in the Ohio Revised Code. Okay, so this article in Cleveland Scene, they're just rattling off what the thing is called. I thought that they were like, well, they're going to have signage and things like that. Okay, well, that makes more sense.
I want everybody to call it that now.
I do, too. If it's not going to be called that, I want everybody to call it that.
Just meet me over at the DORA.
Hey, you know what we should do, guys? It'll be part of, like, the City of Cleveland's tourism bureau, you know, like Destination Cleveland. Hey, you guys want to go to the DORA?
Just going to grab a couple of pups before the Guards game over at the DORA. You guys want to meet over there?
Hey.
Meet me at the DORA.
Yeah. Yeah. Statewide thing. Okay, there you go. Worcester, Mount Vernon, they're all called DORA. All right. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Ours needs to be called DORA.
DORA.
Like your Romo Fijo? Let's just insist every time we mention it, it's the DORA.
Insist.
Insist.
I will accept nothing less than this being called the DORA.
Alan, I will meet you at the DORA before the game.
Yep. And if you can't find me at the DORA, look for me in the DOBA or the DOPA. The designated outside puking area, or the vomiting area, whatever. DOVA.
DOVA.
Yeah. There you go. D to the Izzo. D to the Vizze. I don't know. Well, good. That'll be fun. Listen, it's right around the corner from us. We're going down there tonight for our Christmas thing. In air quotes. And that'll be great. So it's all good news. We've had a Dora in Lorraine for years. Okay. Well, and this is kind of what I was saying is I was surprised because they have been talking about it for a minute, that I was surprised that it had taken them this long, especially for East 4th. That's kind of like the main downtown thoroughfare, you know, where people are like walking around having a good time. And
hey, Alan. I know everybody thinks he's saying, "It's me, Mario," as in, it's me, but he's actually saying, "Isumi, Mario." Isumi means super in Japanese. There you go. Take it easy, man.
Isumi. Come on.
There's no Italian guys that speak Japanese.
That's what the guy is saying.
It's me.
Isumi. All right, well, you might be right. You're probably right.
Every time someone does an Italian impression, they put the A on it. If I was saying that with that stupid Italian thing I do, I would say, "It's a me, Rob." That's just it. Just there. There's no way he's saying Isumi.
Yeah, because the reporter yelled out, "It's a me, Mario,"
right,
when he was taking the guy.
We're able to pretty much find where he was
No,
at.
that's not the one. Where's the one where the guy goes?
That was the convenience store, wasn't it?
No, that was the cop.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's happening, Luigi? What's going on, Luigi? Luigi, it's me, Mario. Me, Mario.
Well, you know what, though? To his point, he's probably right. It's just people think he's doing an Italian accent. He's probably correct. Isumi is, I mean, you know, it's Nintendo, right? But still, you get the nerd alert. Want to go to the Ohio RV Super Show? Maybe you're a nerd for recreational vehicles. It's going to be the IX Center. It's the first week of January, the 8th through the 12th. I will have a 4-pack of tickets for you after the break. It's all presented by Progressive. You can go to OhioRVShow.com to get hip to what they got going on there. 35192. Text me for anything there. If you want to watch, God knows why you would, but it's there for you as an entertainment option. That is our designated online video area. That's our DOVA. The live stream on the Alan Cox Show YouTube channel.
It's the Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS and every
I want to go to the Ohio RV Super Show. It's all presented by Progressive. It's January 8th through the 12th over at the IX Center. Everything all under one roof. Hundreds of new 2025 RVs, tent campers, travel trailers, fifth wheels, motor homes. If you know it and love it, they're going to have it. OhioRVShow.com. Tickets, info, everything there. It's all presented by Progressive. I've got 4 tickets for you. Grab some friends. Or some people you want to be friends. You can bond over your shared love of recreational vehicles. 4 tickets for you. Caller 10. Good luck. 216-578-1007. Or 800-348-1007.
Are you trying to make us all uncomfortable?
Alan Cox.
It's gross, it's weird, it's not right, it's not cool.
And there's plenty more where that came from. Back to the Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS.
Little Steely Dan on the wall. Hey 19, track 2, if memory serves, off of the Gaucho album, which would have been their swan song for a long, long time. Steely Dan had had enough of each other and put out the Gaucho album in 1980 and then didn't do anything else for 20 years. It was a big, big song for them. And John Mulaney was on Fallon. John Mulaney is a huge Steely Dan fan. The great Rick Marotta on drums for this song, by the way. And he was talking about how, he and Olivia Munn now have 2 little kids. And he said that he was trying to get his kid into Steely Dan, and the kid wanted nothing to do with it. He's like, my kid dances around all the time, and I thought, this would be a great opportunity to introduce him to a band I love. Now, this is a rookie mistake, boy. You never, at least for me, I never tried to turn my kids onto my music. Because I think fundamentally you're supposed to reject what your parents are into, no matter how cool it might be. Eventually they may come around to it, but if you try to get them there, it's never going to work.
So I put on the Steely Dan song Hey 19.
Yeah.
Because that's fun.
Yeah.
And you look at all the applause of recognition for Hey 19. And
please sit down,
everyone knows it.
Please sit down.
Please. Everyone. We have to continue with this segment.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm staring at Malcolm. He's 9 months old. I turn on Hey 19. He's not dancing. So I change it to the song Gaucho from the album Gaucho. Again, folks, sit down. Stop applauding.
People are walking out of the studio. People are walking. Hey 19.
Guys from Steely Dan just walked out.
Exactly. I'll fake it.
So I turn on Gaucho. Still not dancing. And my son looks at me and he says, E-I-E-I-O. And I go, you want to listen to Old MacDonald? And he goes like that.
Wow.
And I turn on Old MacDonald. He immediately starts dancing. So here's what's interesting about that story. He had never spoken before. That's how much he hated Steely Dan.
Imagine that. No, I think the Gaucho sessions is when Walter Becker developed his heroin habit because he had been hit by a car. And then his girlfriend died of a drug overdose, and her family sued him, and it was a whole thing. But that was pretty much the end of Steely Dan by 1980, and then they would bury their respective hatchets and come back in 2000. But that Gaucho record is, listen, John Mulaney, and what do you want from me? But did you try to turn your daughters onto your music when they were little?
Always.
Really?
Always.
Boy,
Yeah,
I did not do that.
we would call it music lessons because we would drive back and forth from Rhode Island to Massachusetts. And we
Oh, you
would
had a captive audience.
Yeah, and I would just do today we're going to listen to The Doors. Today we're going to listen to The Meters. And today we're going to listen to just all kinds of stuff.
Did anything stick with them?
No.
Okay.
Not a piece.
Right. They're like, ugh. So they wanted nothing to do with what you were listening to. There wasn't one thing that stuck with me.
They don't. I don't know. They don't hate any of it. I think that they have appreciation for most things.
They were humoring you.
Oh, 100%.
At best, yeah.
But now kids their age, though, like they're into everything that most kids are into, right? Like they're like pop, they like rap, they like, so, but they'll sit down and they'll hear a Steely Dan song and they're not going to be upset that it's on. You know what I mean? Like
well, because my thought was I'm not going to be able to introduce my kids to metal. It's just not going to happen. They're not, if they find it, they find it. But neither of my kids had any interest. I do remember my son, when he was like 12 or 13 years old, started listening to a lot of like Hendrix and things like that. And I was like, how do you know this music? And he's like, Guitar Hero. So there were a lot of kids, because that old classic rock music was getting licensed for video games. So there were kids that were being exposed to it, not through their parents. They were playing Rock Band or Guitar Hero, and they were getting some of those bands.
Well, that's what's also happening with TikTok. All the TikTok trends.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, I can't think of the one right now, but the guy used a Fleetwood Mac song and he was drinking the ocean spray. I forget which.
Dreams by Fleetwood Mac. Yeah.
Right? So everybody was turned on to Fleetwood Mac because of that, and it's one of my daughter Caitlin's favorite bands. So I think that they're finding things, and I always make the joke whenever they're like, they were listening to And We Danced the other day. And I was like,
by the
TikTok
Hooters?
yeah. I'm like, another TikTok trend. And they're like, no, we knew the song. We just, it's on TikTok now too. That's all. They don't ever want to admit it,
It's not like those bands care. They're like, why are we getting paid again all of a sudden?
Loving life.
Yes, of course. The Hooters.
The Hooters.
Yeah. All You Zombies and We Danced. Yeah, so, Fleetwood Mac. I mean, they were, the guy on his skateboard drinking cranberry juice.
Okay, you know what? That is actually one that stuck. Fleetwood Mac was one that stuck because my wife and I would play Rumors a lot. I think that's the perfect record, front to back.
There's also, that to me is always an indication that certain bands and albums are absolutely live up to the hype.
Mm-hmm.
Because they just generationally, you can put it on and somebody will go, yeah, that's pretty good. Like, I get why this is a thing, right? It's not everybody's cup of tea. But there's a reason they sold like 40 million copies of that album.
And there's just not a stiff on it. I mean, you could put the needle down and go. And there's not a bad song on that album. That's got to be up there with the greatest ever made.
Well, yeah, every time they have those things online, they're like, what's an album that doesn't have a dud in the bunch? I always think Rumors. I think Alice in Chains' Dirt.
Yep.
Probably the best example ever of a band avoiding the sophomore slump was Alice in Chains' Dirt.
Van Halen won. I think there might be one song towards the end that's kind of
Atomic Punk?
Maybe. But I mean, I cannot think of a song on that album that sucks. Like, right. I love that album.
Yeah, Van Halen won. Changed my life.
Did it?
Yes. I started playing the drums when I was 11. And my mom was a drummer, and she handed me a stack of albums. And my mom, I've talked about this, when I was growing up, my mom was always playing. She wasn't playing Fleetwood Mac. I don't know if she wasn't into him or whatever, but my mom was playing a lot of singer-songwriter type stuff. And but the stack of albums she handed me, she's like, listen to these. And it was like Van Halen 1, and it was Earth, Wind, and Fire. And it was like and it wasn't like you're going to sit down behind the drums and replicate Alex Van Halen. But it immediately gave me a thought of, oh, these are things that are possible with this instrument. And so Van Halen changed my life.
I 100% have the musical taste that I have because of my parents. My dad was a big classic rock listener. My mom, same thing. They loved the bands, Aerosmith and Boston. And my dad liked the Doobie Brothers. And I mean, these are all these bands that just, that's what I love today. I don't know. I mean, maybe it just had that much of an impact on me. But yeah, that's all I listened to growing up. My mom was a huge Bob Seger fan.
Yeah. I don't think my children got any musical influence from me whatsoever. I don't think they listened to anything that had any. Now, granted, they didn't grow up with me, so that's part of it. But I don't think that they got, and again, I wasn't going to be playing Cannibal Corpse in the car, right? On a road trip?
Yeah.
I wasn't going to do that.
On Fire was the song I was thinking of.
On Fire. That's the last track on Van Halen 1.
Yep. I mean, everything else on that song, you could hear it as soon as you say it. There's Running with the Devil, Eruption, You Really Got Me, Ain't Talking About Love, I'm the One, Jamie's Crying, Atomic Punk, Feel Your Love Tonight, Little Dreamer, Ice Cream Man, On Fire.
Yeah.
That's a... Man, wow.
I think On Fire is great. It's the last track on the album. It's got a long fade out.
But doesn't it feel misplaced? Like, shouldn't that have come, like Ice Cream Man should have been the end?
On Fire feels like, worst I would say is it feels like a bit of an afterthought.
Right.
But I think it's placed properly. I wore out Van Halen 1 on vinyl on my turntable.
I could hear that song coming after Little Dreamer and before Ice Cream Man. Close it out with Ice Cream. I love that song.
I think Little Dreamer is the weak link.
Do you?
Yes.
Oh, I love that song.
I think Little Dreamer. It's not a bad song. Not a bad song. But you're competing with all those other songs. And
not a bad one on here, though.
No. Nope. Came right out of the gate. But yeah, no, I don't think my kid's got any of my musical inclinations.
Well, you said your kid is into Pink Floyd, right?
Yeah, but that's just because he went to college.
That wasn't with you?
He has Radiohead tattoos. When he was younger, he was like way into Coldplay, and I was like, wow, this is not going the way that I had imagined it going at all. But that's what he liked. You know what I mean? I'm like,
right.
That's fine, and he got out of it, but neither of my kids. And my daughter sings. She's in the College of Music at Michigan State, so basically what she listens to are like operas and show tunes. You know what I mean? So... Alan, did your stepdad introduce you to any... You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch.
That's never going away now.
I was born in 1995, this person says. And my dad raised me on the Beatles, Zeppelin, Fleetwood Mac, Steely Dan.
Yep. Like I
I
said
don't
before.
listen to much from this century. Yeah, there's people that are like, I'm not really down with contemporary music or whatever, but that's fine.
I have a Zeppelin tattoo, man. That is my band, but it was predominantly classic rock. I mean, I listened to a little bit of everything. I was texting you stuff today, but I don't know. I can go from the Meters to Static X, It's all over the place.
Boy, do I regret my Kylie Minogue tattoo. That's all I know. That was such a short-lived phase in my life.
Is that the one on your lower back?
Taylor Dane on my calf. What was I thinking? Hey, Kelly.
Hey, hi, guys.
Hi, Kelly.
Hi, welcome to the show, Rob.
Thank you.
Hate you guys, but I wanted to call. My 14-year-old daughter is absolutely insane about music. She's a drummer right now at the School of Rock.
Beautiful.
And she's constantly trying to get kids into Queen, Fleetwood Mac, Rolling Stones, all these bands. Plus, she's got this great Gen X influence of me and my husband where she's all about Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Alice in Chains. So we really lucked out. We really got her a wide variety of musical taste, and she's all about it.
Hey, is she doing that? A friend of mine in Pittsburgh, her son is a drummer, and she said that he's doing a School of Rock show at the Grog Shop next year. Is that a thing?
Yeah, it's actually really amazing. The kids play shows at, there's 3 different venues that they go to. So they practice, and then in the summer they do set lists. So like they'll do the best of the 90s, and then the kids will go up there and do like 5 or 6 songs at a show. It's awesome.
Yeah, she said I was texting with her, and she's like, yeah, he's going to be part of some School of Rock show at the Grog Shop, so we're going to be in Cleveland. I was like, beautiful.
It's a great opportunity for them.
All right, cool. All right, thank you, Kelly.
All right, love you guys.
All right, love you. There's Kelly, who lucked out with her kid, 14-year-old, into Nirvana.
And again, regardless of what they're into, you're starting to see a lot more of that, like, singer-songwriter stuff coming back around. Pop radio's embracing that, so kids are digging on Noah Kahan and stuff like that. So it's real instruments. You know what I mean? At least.
Well, I was going to say, a lot of people lament the fact that there aren't instruments being played anymore. Kids aren't going to play instruments. They're just going to have software in their bedrooms or whatever. And part of my thought is, any creative outlet you have musically, I'm completely fine with that. You can do some amazing things on GarageBand. But from what I've seen, it's not stopping kids from picking up guitars. You're never going to have kids who don't want to play guitar or don't want to play the drums, or that stuff's not going away. You might have kids that don't care about the flugelhorn anymore, okay. But all you got to do is turn them on to some Chuck Mangione and you'll be fine. And then they'll go from there. And they'll go, the guy who killed the healthcare CEO? And we go, no.
That's Luigi Mangione.
That's Luigi Mangione.
This is his Uncle Chuck.
By the way, somebody texted me and said, I'm a super nerd, and that nerd who said that Mario says Itsumi is wrong. That was already debunked.
Yeah.
I love when nerds fight.
I wasn't going to bring it back up, but yeah, it's everything that they have listed, they have like an A in front of what he says. It's a me. Let's a go. They're just making fun of Italians.
I love when nerds fight. Nerd alert! All right. This will put you in a good mood. There's a guy who is, the guy is suing or the family is suing. DraftKings is getting sued because a guy blew $1.5 million of his family's money. And so maybe the wife is suing. Again, I don't know how you do this and everyone around you doesn't realize it. A guy plundered his wife's bank accounts, maxed out her credit cards, stole his kids' Christmas money and baptism gifts. DraftKings sued after father of two gambles away $1 million of his family's money. If you're the wife, I don't know why you don't see your bank account being plundered or your credit cards being maxed out. This is a guy in New Jersey. Lisa D'Alessandro says her husband lost nearly $1 million in the throes of a gambling addiction. And now again, if you hear the commercials, and I've done them, I was doing commercials for FanDuel. If you've heard the commercials, at the very end, it's perfunctory, but at the very end, they're like, hey, you got a gambling problem, call this number. So I don't know what anybody thinks they're going to get by suing one of these gambling apps. It couldn't be more voluntary. And sure, I mean, listen, if a lawyer takes on a case, they can make the argument that, you know, we've had these conversations on this show before, that gambling is just as much of an addiction as putting chemicals into your body because it elicits the same brain responses. And there are people who will roll their eyes at that, and there's other people who, you know, take it as written.
Yeah.
But I just don't know how you don't see. It's not like he did it in a day. So I don't know how you don't see, like, oh, I went to the ATM and I have $30,000 less than I did.
Well, to her, maybe she never saw finances. I mean, if he has $1 million to blow,
yeah,
maybe she never saw the money. You know, she just spent it. And then all of a sudden the credit cards don't work.
Yeah. She accuses DraftKings of having actively participated in coercing him into wagering exponentially higher amounts until he was a full-blown addict.
They got to be careful the way they weigh in on this one, man. Like, gamble responsibly, like you said. They've already covered their asses. I don't see how this is a lawsuit.
I don't either, and he only started gambling 4 years ago.
Oof.
He never gambled more than $3,700 in a single month in 2020, but the wife says by 2023, he was completely hooked, and he was betting $125,000 a month.
Yeah, so they had dough. She never knew about money. You know, that guy.
Well, but they're trying to paint them as a middle-class family, too.
Yeah.
You know, these aren't people of means. They had a mere $1 million in the bank.
Yeah.
Now, that does suck. You know, that really sucks.
That guy went from zero to Clark Griswold like that, right? I mean,
he did.
It's like, oh.
Yep. The two children, both under the age of 10, are now, quote, doing the best they can to recover, said the wife. Online sports betting, of course, is legal in 39 states and the District of Columbia. Unlike illegal and offshore betting sites, though, legal platforms like DraftKings have tools and resources to help those people with gambling issues. So, again, I don't know how you make this case. I guess it's a situation where you're like, I got to try to get some money back.
Yeah,
and
but
if you could find a lawyer to take the case and you settle, maybe you get a little, I don't know.
I just can't see how this isn't thrown out instantly, right? So if you take too much Tylenol, you can probably kill yourself with it, right?
Or cough syrup, per se.
Or cough syrup, per se.
Why not?
You're not going to go to the cough syrup company or to ibuprofen and be like, hey, this guy overdosed and killed himself because of your product. It's not going to happen.
I wrote a strongly worded letter to Dave Ibuprofen and told him, Ivan Buprofen, Yeah, and boy, he was not receptive to my complaints. So, yeah, she's making the case that the company data mined him and found his soft spots and really, got him hooked, and they knew he was married, and they knew he was a problem gambler because they were texting him all the time and emailing him, and they were giving him free bets and credits to cover losses.
They do that with everybody. It's an auto-generated thing.
Yeah, it's like when they comp you in Vegas because you spend a ton.
Right.
Stop spending the money.
$125,000 a month. What are we going to do? Wait another month.
Yeah.
Jesus.
They began offering him high-end gifts like DraftKings whiskey glasses. Honey, I can't stop now.
Yeah, look at this. 2 free glasses.
I finally got my DraftKings whiskey glasses. Oh, now you've done it. Now I've got to spend another $125,000. Will you stop? You stole all my money. Oh, you heartless bastards. I've got Disturbed tickets for you. WMMS is presenting Disturbed next spring. They are on the 25th anniversary tour for The Sickness. They got Daughtry and Nothing More coming with them. We are going to do the big meet and greet with Disturbed too, so I want to get you in on that. You got to go to WMMS.com to register for that, but I will have tickets for you after the break. That show is Monday, March 31st at the Romo Fijo.
It's the Alan Cox Show. Everywhere on our free iHeartRadio app.
Or whatever smart device you have.
Just tell it to play the Alan Cox Show on iHeartRadio.
Ready to win your way into iHeartRadio Alter Ego 2025, presented by Capital One,
featuring Incubus,
Cage the Elephant,
The Lumineers,
St. Vincent,
Glass Animals, The Head and the Heart,
Fontaine's DC, Måneskin's Damiano David,
and The Offspring.
The biggest single night of live alt rock on the planet.
For your chance to win an alter ego trip, just listen to this station on the free iHeartRadio app. And we'll see you at Alter Ego 2025.
Thanks to Capital One for being the proud presenting partner of Alter Ego.
Capital One is the proud presenting partner of iHeartRadio Alter Ego 2025, bringing great products, rewards, and services to its customers. What's in your wallet?
From the Mr. Hero Waffle Doodle Weather Center.
WMMS weather.
Slight chance of snow overnight, 14 for a low. Friday, mostly sunny, 26. Saturday, partly sunny, 41. Rain returns Sunday, mid-40s.
This report is sponsored by Romeo's Pizza. The new Romeo's Pizza online-only deal saves you $7 off any order of 30 or more. And this holiday season, partial proceeds of your Romeo's Pizza purchase benefit St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, too. 2 great reasons to make it a Romeo's Pizza night.
On the app or in store, Cleveland runs on Duncan.
Kia of Streetsboro. Kia of Streetsboro.com.
It's the season of new traditions sales event at Kia of Streetsboro. Right now, get up to $5K over Kelly Blue Book for your trade. Use that money to lower these already great deals, like a 2025 Kia K4 LXS front-wheel drive, lease for only $119 per month. A 2025 Kia K5 LXS, lease for only $209 per month. We're also blowing out remaining 2024s. Get a 2024 Kia Sportage LX front-wheel drive, lease for $209 per month, or a 2024 Kia Telluride LX front-wheel drive lease for just $299 per month. It's the season of new traditions sales event at Kia of Streetsboro. Get here today and make those holidays even better. 5K over KBB and rates as low as 0% at Kia of Streetsboro. Shop all our inventory 24/7 at KiaofStreetsboro.com.
Kia of Streetsboro. Kia of Streetsboro.com.
Residency restrictions may apply. See dealer for additional details. Expires 1/2/25.
Old Spice Swagger Holiday Pack, perfect for a gift to treat yourself. 24/7 holiday freshness with daily use can smell your bestest. I'm gonna be smelling great all season. Old Spice scents just can't be beaten. Chock full of value, saving that green. Got the essentials needed to feel clean. Deodorant, hair, body wash, and spray. Celebrate your holiday the Old Spice way. Ho, 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 ho.
Hey, Mackenzie here. The Season of New Traditions sales event is going on now at Ken Ganley Kia. Save thousands on new 2024 and 2025 Kias. Buy a Kia with zero down, 0% financing, or zero payments till spring. Drive a 2025 Kia Seltos, K4, or Sportage. $179 lease per month. 24 months, 10K miles per year, no security deposit required. K4, $3622 due at signing. Seltos and Sportage, $3970 due at signing. Drive a new 2025 Kia for just $179.
don't think so, maybe it's time to face facts. You're stuck in the past. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report, learn more at discover.com/credit card.
Keep the holiday soundtrack on everywhere. Open the free iHeartRadio app to take Magic 105.7 with you on the go. Tap the holiday banner or just search holiday. Plus, you'll see stations playing Christmas country, jazz, pop, rock, R&B, and more. Tons of playlists and even holiday podcasts. Let us handle the music. You've got enough to do. Open the iHeart app now. Free never sounded so good.
For more information about contests on WMMS, go to WMMS.com/rules.
It's time to give stuff away. Hey, hey, it's free stuff for you.
Oh, you want to go see Disturbed? They are back on the road next year, and WMMS is presenting Disturbed the Sickness 25th Anniversary Tour here in Cleveland. And they're bringing Daughtry and Nothing More. They're kind of doing a rotating cast of support. That's what we get in Cleveland. Monday, March 31st, it's all going to go down at the Romo Fijo. We are also doing a meet and greet with Disturbed. We'd like you to be part of that. So go to WMMS.com to register to get in on that. The tickets here now, 2 of them for caller 10. We'll see you there. Disturbed in March, right here downtown. Good luck. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
You'd flee a wildfire. Evacuate. You'd prepare for a hurricane, but there's no escaping this disaster.
It's one of the worst disasters that I've seen in my career.
It's the Alan Cox Show
on 100.7 WMMS.
I will have one more pair for you about this time tomorrow. See Disturbed. And we'll probably have more for you closer to the show, as a matter of fact. But don't sleep on that meet and greet. Go to WMMS.com and register to get in on that. Because, listen, it's... you'll meet the man, you'll greet them. Well, they'll greet you, and then you'll meet them. And so why not? If you listen to us on iHeartRadio, the new and improved, by the way, I've been hearing from a lot of people today, they've completely revamped the iHeartRadio app. And so I think hopefully the ease of use goes way up on this. But I've heard from some people who have already kind of been dicking around with it today, and they enjoy it. It's got a new interface on it. I was talking about it a little bit yesterday. And I think that it's probably going to be a better experience for you to use. A little more intuitive. Lyrics, that's what most people, when they were listening to music. And frankly, this show too. People are like, hey, can we get the lyrics to when you guys are talking? You go, yeah, sure. Commonly referred to as a transcription, but yeah, why not? I don't know if it does that for the show, but if you're listening to music there, it'll do it. And you can scan around. I admittedly have not even checked it out myself.
I looked. It's nothing. I didn't get the first rollout.
I clearly did not either, but okay.
Because again, why would you want the people talking about it to use it? It's amazing to me.
Well, listen. I'm happy to tell people to check it out for themselves. And I hope you do enjoy using it. Cavaliers are back on the floor at the Romo Fijo tomorrow night. Been off for a few nights. And play the Washington Wizards. It's a 7 o'clock tip-off. 6:30 will begin the pregame here on MMS. If you listen on the iHeartRadio app, you'll hear those Cavs games. If you listen to us from out of state, I like to know where people are. Adam's in Elmore, Vermont. You know where Elmore, Vermont is?
You know what? I don't.
Okay.
Now I have to look. because I've been to Vermont a million times.
Lisa is in Jamestown, Tennessee. Janet listens in Henderson, Nevada. Kevin's in Ypsilanti. Wade is in Weirton, West Virginia. And Kyle is one of our bureau chiefs in St. Louis, Missouri. Got some food news here. Food news! You got to give it up to the great state of Ohio. Not everybody can be tackling the big, life-changing cases. Somebody's got to handle the small potatoes. And leave it to the Ohio Supreme Court. They've denied a request to reconsider. You know, you might recall, because we talked about this earlier in the year, it went all the way to the Ohio Supreme Court whether or not boneless chicken wings can have bones. It seems self-evident, but the Ohio Supreme Court, they got a lot of requests, obviously, to reconsider this, to maybe overturn their verdict, and they have denied that request. It's being called a ridiculous decision that boneless chicken wings can have bones. Imagine you've devoted your life to the law, and listen, even at the state level, okay? You're not on the United States Supreme Court, but you're on the Ohio Supreme Court. You're rubbing elbows with other SCOTUSes, and you've devoted your life to the law. You eat, sleep, and breathe this stuff, and they finally bring you the case of a lifetime. Can boneless chicken wings have bones? And then you have to hear arguments. And, of course, they decided that boneless chicken wings can have bones.
What did they, did they give a reason for this judgment? I don't
know.
It got
a lot of attention at the time. They ruled that boneless does not mean that one should be surprised to find bones.
What does it mean? That's exactly what it means.
This was an argument at the time. I think somebody had sued because they went to a B-dubs or something. I don't know what it was. And they were like, hey, I got the boneless wings. It had bones in it. And it went all the way to the Ohio Supreme Court back in July. Chicken wings advertised as boneless can have bones. Because a guy got a bone stuck in his throat. Yeah!
Hey-o.
This was in Hamilton, Ohio. I think that's outside Cincinnati. A guy named Michael Berkheimer was out there at a wing joint with his wife, having some fun, eating some, and he felt some meat go down the wrong way. And so he goes to the doctor, and he was vomiting, and he had a fever. He goes to the ER, and the doctor discovered that he had a long, thin bone. The case itself was not a joke. I mean, this guy got jacked up. He had a bone that had torn his esophagus, and he had gotten an infection. So he goes, well, that's no good. So anyway, he sues. He goes, this restaurant did not say that the boneless wings have bones. So it sounds like a ridiculous case, but this guy, to me, has a case. And the Ohio Supreme went all the way to the Ohio Supreme Court, and they ruled against him. They said, boneless does not mean that you can expect no bones. A 4-3 ruling. They said that boneless wings refers to a cooking style, and he should have been on guard since it's common knowledge that chickens have bones.
Stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life.
So the case itself, I don't think is frivolous. I just remember years ago, I told the story at the time when my daughter was younger. This is probably 5 or 6 years ago, and it was after one of her performances in a junior high or beginning of high school, maybe. And we went to a chain restaurant. This was in Michigan, whatever. And she had ordered a salad, and it had metal bristles from the grill brush in it.
Oh.
And she caught it before she ate it. But I was like, oh my God. I'm like, if you had eaten that, I said, first off, we'd have a hell of a lawsuit on our hands. because she wasn't quite sure what it was. She was a screw or something, and it was the little piece of metal. I go, I'll tell you what that is. Those are bristles from the grill brush that had made their way into this salad. Well, anyway, I go over to the manager and whatever. I'm like, you're going to pick up the tab for this whole table. And they pushed back on me.
Really?
Yeah. Well, because, listen, managers of these places, they're one screw up away from losing their gig anyway, and they're just trying to do whatever, and they got to be a company person and whatever. But I was like, look, this is clearly from a grill brush in the kitchen. I'm like, now, there's nothing in this. It wasn't a chicken salad. I'm like, there's nothing in this salad that needs to be grilled. So I go, that means that there's more going on than should be going on. It'd be one thing if you had a grilled chicken salad and you go, oh, well, it was stuck in the chicken. But it was a vegetarian. My daughter's a vegetarian. There was no meat in this salad.
I would have rolled it up in a bread ball and swallowed it.
Well, I thought about it later on. I was like, I really should have pitched a fit. As it was, I think he ended up taking half of the bill off because it was like her and I and a bunch of her friends. So there were like 8 or 9 people there. But I was like, I really should have put up a stink over this. Because at first they kind of pushed back, and then I kind of dug in. But my daughter was like, I didn't eat it. Don't make a big deal about it, really. And I was like, okay. I said, I won't, but that's not supposed to be in a salad, the grill brush. And I'm like, if we play our cards right, we could own this place.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Little bread ball. Oop.
Right.
Look what I just found.
That's right. Because to me, like when they say, like I'm not a wing guy, but when they go boneless wings, I go, those are just chicken nuggets, right? I mean, my understanding is that that's marketing and boneless wings are chicken nuggets or pressed meat. Isn't that what they, But they're just pressed together. This went all the way to the Ohio Supreme Court, and they refused to reconsider their ruling.
When you go to a restaurant and you look at a menu and you say to the waitress, hey, I'll have a dozen wings. She's going to say, bone in or boneless.
Is that what she says?
It's clearly a difference.
Okay.
You look at a menu, boneless, $9.99 for 4.
Yeah.
A dozen of regular wings, $9.99 for they're different items.
Yeah.
So just because it's processed, they're saying that
well,
if there's a bone in it.
Hey, if there's any chicken, you should know as the consumer that because chickens have skeletons, that one of them might get a bone stuck in your throat. Maybe they thought that ruling the other way would completely, I'm sure they probably got a lot of pressure from the wing lobby or the fast food purveyors of the United States lobby or whatever. I don't know.
But when you think about it, though, like this guy had a tragedy happen to him, right? You see how bad he messed him up.
Yeah.
Like the woman that spilled coffee on herself because it was hot at Dunkin' or at McDonald's. Or the guy that decided to go to the back of his Winnebago because cruise control was on.
Yeah.
You can sue people and get paid out. This poor bastard ordered boneless wings and gets nothing.
Nothing at all.
It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah. Well, again, leave it to the Ohio Supreme Court to make that ruling and not reconsider because obviously they appealed. And people who are into wings are very specific about what they do or don't like. But I have to think that across the board, what people don't like is getting bones in their esophagus.
Yeah.
Getting infections in their throat.
From something that you ordered called a boneless wing. Sans bones.
I gave my love a chicken that had no bone. Thank you to who sent me that. Appreciate that. Alan, I got a milkshake from Steak and Shake. I drank half of it before I realized there were giant chunks of glass in the bottom of it. Yeah, boy, that's tough too. It's like you thank your lucky stars if you on the one hand, you're like super pissed off, and on the other hand, you're like, I'm glad I saw it before anything happened.
Are you, though? I mean, again,
well, that was the thing. When she had this salad, I was like, honey, I love you, but if you had eaten that, we would be millionaires.
this place would be called Alan's
House of Wings, boneless and otherwise. Yeah. So, I don't know. That Ohio Supreme Court just flaunting their power. It's like what back in the day when they were like, oh, hot dogs, there is a legal limit of rat beeholes that can be in there. Now hot dogs, you kids, you don't know what hot dogs used to be, right? Now they're mostly meat. They're like beef hot dogs. But back in the day, they were like sawdust and rat buttholes and bat poop. There were like literal legal limits of detritus from the floor of the warehouse that could be worked into the hot dogs.
And man, they were good.
And they were good. People weren't getting sick.
They're so good.
Which to me was good news. I was like, okay, it sounds gross, but now we know how much rat feces the human body can withstand. I mean, it would drive us all mad to realize how much of that stuff is in everything we eat, right? Processed or otherwise, how much awful stuff we consume on a regular basis, just part and parcel of the food distribution process.
It always makes me think of the great outdoors. Remember the raccoons? It was
vaguely.
It was so pop culture that everybody knew that it was happening, that the raccoons were like, oh, don't eat those hot dogs. Those are made out of lips and a-holes. Remember?
Yeah. Alan, restaurants are not supposed to use metal of any kind to clean anything. You should have pressed the issue. Well, now you tell me. Thanks. Well, it was at my daughter's behest that she asked me not to cause a scene. That's why they call me AC scene causer. They don't call me that. Hey, Victoria.
Hi.
Hi.
Years ago, I think I heard this on the Paul Harvey show, so that's how long ago this was.
Good day.
He was talking about somebody that had sued because he got a piece of clamshell in his clam chowder. And he got the same thing. He took it all the way up. And they said, if you're eating clam chowder, you should expect that there's a shell in there. If you're eating a cherry pie, you can expect a pit in there somewhere. And they ruled against him.
I think this is different, though.
This is
right?
You think it's different?
Yeah, because we're talking about the fundamental name
boneless.
of something, right?
Yeah,
They're
boneless. If you were to, because you're given the option. And if
Right.
he was like, I want the bone
Right.
in, then you go, yes. But if you are, I don't know.
Well, people that want boneless don't want to deal with the bones, which I don't understand.
I'll tell you what made me mad, Victoria, is one time I found a bone in my cherry pie. How the hell did that get there? Cherries don't have bones.
I don't know. But like you were saying, though, those aren't boneless wings. Those are processed meat that bones are going to be in.
Yeah, it's a pink slime.
I understand it. I understand the guy's suit, but I understand the ruling, too, because, I mean, nobody's, checking for every little piece of whatever in there.
Yeah, I think Victoria is a lobbyist for Big Bone out there. I think she's she's out there trying to make things happen. All right, thank you, Victoria. I appreciate it. Hey, Mike.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, Mike?
Hey, I was wondering if you look at it from the other angle. You order a dozen regular wings, and 2 of them have no chicken on them.
Wait, what?
Well, I'm saying the opposite. Now, you ordered wings with bones. You got 12 of them, but 2 of them have no meat on them at all. They're just bones.
Yeah.
So that's, you got what you ordered.
Oh, you mean sue for no meat?
Yeah.
Yeah. Your Honor, I got only bones. Not only was it boneless, it was bone full. It was overboned, Your Honor. All right, thank you, Mike. You might be onto something there. I don't know what you're on, but okay.
But there is a big, big, big difference. You said earlier, like chicken, if you order boneless wings versus nuggets. Nuggets are all processed up food, right? But most places, chicken tenders are just pieces that are cut from the breast.
Yes.
So there's a piece of bone in it. Okay, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But I still don't understand how that's not a big deal.
It's like when you find a Band-Aid in your taco.
Also a problem. A finger.
And by the way, I remember one of the first bits I ever did on the radio. I was in Kalamazoo, Michigan. I'm trying to make a name for myself, so I'm doing all these wacky bits, right? And I remember I called a Coca-Cola distributorship and told them that I found a thumb in my Coke. And I pre-recorded it and I edited it. I was so proud of this. I got management was like, this is how you learn, right? They were like, do you know how much money Coca-Cola spends with this radio station? And you're blah, blah, blah. I go, it was very clearly a joke. Anyone listening could tell it was a joke. Oh, my God, I got bent over by management. Unbelievable. It was really funny. It was a great bit. Because they were incredulous on the other end, as you might expect. Incredulous. There was a thumb, a human thumb, in my Coke.
See, I would argue you gave them free advertising.
That's what I said.
I've been talking about Coca-Cola for 5 minutes. They can't afford that kind of coverage.
They said they don't need that kind of blah, blah. Oh, yeah, they've reamed me out, boy. Hey, Leslie.
Hi, friends.
Hello.
Devotion to Accuracy Department calling in right now. Rob, respectfully, there's more to the McDonald's hot coffee thing than what is pervasive in the media. So the reason why that woman sued is because McDonald's had the coffee at a temperature that was so dangerously high that when it spilled in her lap, it gave her crazy levels of burns to where like her pants were like fused to her skin, and she incurred a lot of medical bills that McDonald's should have been responsible for, because at the end of the day they had their stuff at such a high temperature that it was physically dangerous because they were trying to do some workaround with regards to food safety.
But you missed my point.
Leslie, isn't that more of an indictment on our processed fabrics industry and our plastic pants? And isn't this woman to blame for having such a cold crotch so that
we should be going naked everywhere, yeah.
Yes.
My point was not that she didn't deserve it. My point was that she did deserve it, that she got it, that the guy from Winnebago was able to sue.
Yep.
I was just,
okay.
I agree with you.
I was on hold, and I'm like in the middle of traffic and all that. I thought you were trying to imply my apologies. I was trying to be like, wait, no, there's more. Please don't be a jerk to her.
No, not at all. And there's never an apology. Good God. Yeah, you say whatever the hell you want to me.
Oh, good for
right.
you.
All right, thank you, Leslie, for clarifying. Thank you. We got to go. We're blowing out to get to this holiday party, right?
Yeah.
We're going to go around the corner. We're going to have a couple of pops.
You want to stop somewhere and have one before we go there? So I can't walk in there dry.
No. And we will we'll be back around tomorrow around 2. And the show later on will be on the app for you. And tomorrow, the last live show of the year, by the way. Thanks to David Alan Greer, by the way. His show is called St. Dennis Medical. New episodes Tuesdays, NBC. It's very funny. I would check it out. You can stream the other episodes as well. I'm hoping Greg Fitzsimmons is going to be in tomorrow because I always like talking to him, but he's doing the weekend at Hilarities anyway. So we'll go have some pops, and we'll talk to you guys again tomorrow.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS. And everywhere you go on our free iHeartRadio app. This weekend, the Buzzard takes you back.
We're sending you back
to a decade fueled by
powdered cocaine used for sniffing
and by
Aquanet. You can't buy